She hated humans until a human warrior earned her heart in battle. Human filth stays out. Vela wrist barked into her squad comm. Her clawed finger stabbed at the trench lip. Staff Sergeant Marcus Kane froze mid-step, mud sucking at his boots. His human squad trailed behind, packs heavy with gear no Karmaw drone could match. Private Lurak leveled his pulse rifle. Squad leader's orders, Softskin, turn around. Kane raised empty hands. Calm eyes scanned the line. No panic, no bluster, just assessment. Captain Sec detached us. Comms confirm. Vela spat acidic saliva into the dirt. Humans, reckless parasites breeding wars they couldn't finish. Her kind held the line with precision strikes and brewed loyalty. These mammals charged blind. Comms glitch, Karmaw jammers. My trench, my call. She signaled Lurak, block them. Kane's jaw tight. He stepped forward anyway, bold, stupid. Artillery screamed overhead, the world exploded. Vela slammed into the bunker wall, dirt rained, beams cracked. Incoming, down, a second barrage walked the line. Plasma rounds detonated soil into glass. Her forward bunker shuddered, ceiling panels buckled. She shoved Lurak toward the exit hatch. Fall back, regroup at secondary. Roof caved. Agony exploded in her leg. Pinned, debris crushed her chest. Dust choked her gills. Squad comm screamed static. Karmaw barrage pinned them. No extraction, no glory, just suffocation. Claws scrabbled at rock. Useless. Leg bone grated. She hissed pain. Humans outside? Good riddance. Let them, metal scraped. A vibroknife whirred through rubble. Light pierced the dark. Kane's face appeared, smeared with mud. Human eyes locked on hers. No words. He wedged the blade, heaved a slab aside, muscles corded under his armor. Grunt. Slab shifted. Move your arms, he growled, low, urgent. She slashed free, ignoring fire in her thigh. Grabbed his outstretched arm, pulled. He yanked her through the gap. Boots hit trench floor. Another shell whistled. Kane tackled her sideways into a shell crater. Impact rattled her scales. Dirt sprayed. They slid into muck. Silence rang. Barrage lifted. Drones buzzed distant. Vela shoved him off. Claws flexed. You ignored orders. Saved your scales. He knelt, checked her leg. Fingers probed efficient. No hesitation. Fracture, splint it. Her squad staggered up from cover. Lurak gaped. Squad leader. Comms dead. Kane cut in. Flat, he pulled field tape from his pack, wrapped her thigh tight. Pressure eased pain, stabilized. Vela snarled. Prejudice boiled. Parasites didn't lead, but he moved like he'd planned the cave-in. Squad, reform on me. Static hissed. Karmaw jammers thickened. No vox, no coord. Kane stood, locked eyes with her. Raised hand, 2 fingers up, circled left, pointed Hill Ridge. She blinked. Universal signals, human field manual leaked years back. Reckless to use, Lurak frowned. What? Follow, Vela snapped. Prejudice warred with need. Squad needed eyes on enemy push. Comms jammed. His signals worked silent. She mirrored fist pump 3 fingers east, flank check. Kane nodded once, slid right, low crawl. His engineer buddy, Cho, tossed demo charges from shadows. Human ingenuity. Quick fixes, Vela waved, squad left. Lurak grumbled but obeyed. They ghosted through wire. Kane signaled halt, pointed Karmaw siege beasts lumbering forward. Broodleader Karmaw directed from a carapace tower. Drones swarmed, her pulse raced. Direct assault, suicide. Aliens held with plasma grids. Humans, charged. Kane pulled a tube from his pack, shoulder-fired, rocket streaked, beast leg vaporized. It toppled, crushing drones. Squad rifles barked. Precision fire dropped stragglers. Vela's claws itched for her rifle. Leg throbbed, but she aimed. Dropped a drone mid-leap. Kane rolled beside her. Flank exposed, your grids, she signaled, arc left. Squad shifted seamless. Plasma netted the gap. Drones fried. Cho appeared, slapped breaching charges on a beast hull. 3 seconds, boom. Hull split, infantry poured flaws. Karmaw broodleader roared from tower. Siege beasts pivoted. Heavy fire chewed earth. Incoming, Kane yelled, grabbed Vela's arm, pulled her behind slag. Shells cratered. Lurak screamed, hit. Vela surged up, dragged him back. Kane covered, rifle steady. Pop, pop, pop. 3 drones down. Captain Joran's voice crackled faint on backup freak. Riss, report, human interference. She keyed Vox one-handed. Enemy push repelled. Human liaison, effective. Pause, Joran's tone iced. Effective or reckless? Your loyalty, squad leader. Kane didn't flinch, reloaded calm. Jammers thinning, push now. Vela eyed him, broad shoulders, steady hands, no boasts, just results. Parasite? No, puzzle solver, her squad watched. Lurak nodded faint approval. She signaled advance. Squad flowed. Kane at her side, Cho rigged trap's rear. They crested ridge. Karmaw Tower loomed, broodleader's mandibles clicked orders, beasts charged, Kane knelt. "Your plasma, my bait," she hissed doubt. Humans baited death, but competence gleamed in his eyes. Approved. Claws gripped rifle, squad fanned. She flashed signals, hold fire. Kane sprinted forward, exposed, rifle barked controlled bursts, drew beasts central. Vela's heart slammed, reckless plasma grids ignited. Beasts melted mid-charge. Tower buckled under crossfire. Broodleader leaped, claws raked air. Kane rolled, fired point-blank, mandibles shattered. Vela charged, rifle butt cracked skull. Broodleader slumped. Dead squad cheered, faint, exhausted. Kane rose, blood trickled temple, wiped it, offered hand. "Solid team." She took it. Grip firm, warmth seeped through scales, human strength. Earned, Joran's vox cleared, wrist status. "Secure," she said, watched Kane check Lurak's wounds, gentle hands, precise. "Human stays," she added, silence, then explain. Vela met Kane's gaze, prejudice cracked. Trust seated, proven under fire. Shells whistled again, distant. Kane signaled deeper cover. Now she followed Squad 2, no orders needed. Captain Joran stalked the command trench, his crest flared red. "You vouch for the mammal?" Vela stood tall, leg ached under splint. "Kane's work. He pulled me from collapse, signals bypass jam, bait drew the brood." Joran's eyes narrowed. "Parasite luck. Competence," she flexed claws. "Watch." Kane crouched with Cho. Engineer welded scrap into a jammer killer. Human tools, knife, tape, power cell. Device hummed alive. Comms cleared fleet-wide. Joran recoiled. "How?" "Improvises," Vela said, watched Kane's come focus. Broad back, quiet power, heat stirred low. Unbidden, Lurak limped up. "Squad leader, he's solid." She nodded. Prejudice, dust, trust forged in fire. Karmaw counter-screamed. Kane rose, rifle ready. "Next push." Vela gripped hers side by side. "Together." His eyes crinkled, smile ghost, she mirrored, scales flushed. Joran barked orders, but eyes lingered on the human. War ground on, trust deepened. One clutch at a time. Vela slammed her claw on the trench lip. "Kane, sentry lane 7, hold it alone till dawn." Marcus Kane didn't flinch. He slung his rifle, eyes scanning the jagged scar of no man's land. Shadows clawed at the ridge beyond. "Copy, squad leader, lane 7, her squad hissed. Lurak's crest flattened. "Exposed lane to the softskin." "Prove your humans aren't parasites," Vela snarled. She thrust the assignment chit at him. Prejudice burned hot. Joran's words echoed, user hate. But after the jammer fix, doubt gnawed. Kane's calm irked her most. Kane nodded once, grabbed his pack, slipped over the berm without a backward glance. Gravel crunched under his boots. Gone into the kill corridor, a gutted ravine where Karmaw loved to swarm. Vela crouched low, watched his silhouette weave through tripwires. Squad eyes bored into her. "Loyalty first," she growled. "Humans break under real fire." Night thickened. Distant booms rattled scales. Vela gripped her pulse rifle. Scanned the lanes, feed on her wrist hollow. Static flickered. Then Kane's voice, "Lane secure." Mapping corridors now. Unauthorized, she keyed Vox. "Negative human, hold position, mine stay put." Silence, then understood. But his dot shifted, tinkering, claws flexed. Reckless mammal, she'd drag his corpse back herself. Hours crawled, Vela paced the sentry post. Lurak limped closer, splint holding firm Kane's field work. "Squad leader, pull him." "No, test him, break him," chittering echoed. Karmaw probes, low crawlers testing lines. Vela's hackles rose. "Alert, hostiles inbound, lane 7. Squad rifles snapped up. Hollow bloomed red, dozens scuttling through the corridor, straight into the old minefield. Boom, first cluster detonated, shrapnel sprayed, screeches cut short, but more poured in. Old pattern ignored the chokepin pinch. They'd flank. Vela's Vox crackled. "Kane, trap line live." "Hold fire." "What?" She zoomed hollow. Mines repositioned, funneling the swarm into a kill box. Clustered blasts ripped through ranks. Probes shredded. Survivors bolted. Silence fell. No flank. Lane held. Vela's scales itched. "Kane, report." Probes neutralized. 12 confirmed. Repositioned mines per corridor flow. No casualties. "You ignored orders." Her voice tightened. Squad stared. "Orders adapt, squad leader. Kill corridor mapped. Karmaw funnels left here." Calm, factual. Joran's Vox overrode. "Riss, human tampered with defenses. Court him." "Results first, Captain." Vela stood. Prejudice cracked wider. "He stopped a raid cold." Kane's dot returned. He crested the berm, mud-caked, rifle slung easy. Dropped a Karmaw mandible trophy at her feet. "Souvenir." Lurak grunted approval. Squad crests lifted. Dawn bled gray. Shells whispered overhead. Vela eyed the human, broad shoulders, steady gaze. Heat stirred again, low and traitorous. Competence, she muttered, met his eyes. Crinkled smile ghosted back. Joran stalked up, crest flared crimson. Explain this insubordination, Riss, or I pull your command. Vela bared fangs. Watch the next push, human leads recovery. Joran recoiled. You vouch. Proven. She turned to Kane. Wounded in the east ravine, probes pinned them, lead counterpush, Cho supports. Kane nodded, no boast. Roger, squad on me. Lion Cho jogged up, tool harness clinking, human engineer compact and scarred. Breach charges ready, Sarge, scrap demo packs too. Vela's squad shifted uneasy, humans leading Viakin warriors, madness, but she waved them forward. Follow his signals, no questions. They plunged into the ravine. Kane first, low crawl, Vela third, pulse rifle hot, air stank of ozone and ichor, chittering ahead. Karmaw guards swarmed the wounded cluster, 3 Viakin pinned under fire. Kane signaled, flank left. Cho demo, engineer slapped charges on a rockfall, whisper click. Breach in 3. Blast shook scales, debris buried 2 crawlers. Kane rolled through smoke, rifle barking precise bursts. 2 more down, Vela charged, claws raked a lurker. Push, squad flowed in. Lurek covered right, but Karmaw reinforcements screeched from a side tunnel, broodleaders hunters elite with vibro blades. Kane pivoted. Cho, jammer mine. Engineer lobbed a jury-rigged puck, scrap foil, power cell, taped emitter. It hummed alive midair, Karmaw Vox cut. Their coordination shattered. Kane's voice cut through. Converge center, fire lanes. Vela synced, bursts overlapped, hunters dropped in heaps. Wounded hauled free, one gasped, squad leader, human saved us. Joran's Vox barked, Riss, status, recovery complete. Kane's push, 0 losses. Silence, then, regroup, broodleader incoming. Kane knelt by a wounded Viakin, tightened a tourniquet with steady hands. Hang on, trooper. The warrior gripped his arm, crest rose. Human strength, Vela watched, broad back tensed, quiet command. Her tail brushed his leg unthinking, he glanced up, eyes locked. Heat flushed her scales deeper. Prejudice, shattered, back at lines, Joran waited, arms crossed. He leads now. Vela flexed claws. He wins, we follow. Captain's eyes flicked to Kane, calculating. Prove it holds. Shells screamed closer. Karmaw counterpush massed. Vox chatter spiked. Broodleader Karmaw himself hunting command elements. Kane crouched with Cho over the hollow. Ravine pinch here, mines chained to demo cascade. Cho welded fast, knife sliced circuits. Tape secured. Live in 10. Vela leaned in, shoulder brushed his, solid, warm. Your traps again? Team traps. He met her gaze. Your squad's fire seals it. Trust bloomed, she nodded. Together. Squad formed up, Lurek grinned fangs. Mammals got claws. Joran grunted reluctant. For now. Screeches peaked. Horde hit the corridor. Kane's chain detonated. Mines walked fire through ranks. Demo cascade buried the pinch. Broodleaders' elites vaporized. Survivors broke. Lines held, Vela gripped Kane's shoulder, claws light. You mapped their soul, he smiled faint. Just infantry math. Heat coiled tighter, her tail curled near his boot. Unbidden, wanted, Joran barked retreat to depths, but his crest eased. Human, stays, night fell heavy. Vela stood watch with Kane, lane 7 hers now theirs. Thought you'd court-martial me, he said low. Almost. She bumped his arm, scales to synth vest. Glad I didn't. His hand brushed hers, calloused, steady. Me too. Shells whistled distant, claws laced fingers, trust sealed, fire forged. Karmaw roared anew, deeper assault. Kane rose, rifle ready. Next. Vela matched him side by side, always. But Vox crackled urgent. Riss, broodleader flanks command trench, your position exposed. Joran's voice cracked, panic edged it. Vela's eyes snapped to Kane, his calm held. But the hook sank, his mistake mines, they'd funneled the real threat right to them. Plasma bolts scorched the trench lip. Vela yanked her rifle up, claws digging into synth grip. Karmaw shrieked from the dark, claws scrabbling over rubble. Kane fired beside her, bursts precise, dropping the lead screamer mid-leap. Lurek down, squadmate Vex roared. Leg shredded, Vela snapped glance. Lurek clutched his thigh, scales cracked, blood pulsing black. Broodleader's elites poured in, exploiting the mine funnel. Her secure lane crumbled. Standard carryout? Vela barked. Vex, hoist him double time to rally point. Kane dropped to crouch beside Lurek. No, too exposed, ravines our zip line, I rig it. She whirled on him, tail lashed. Human tricks killed my ambush. Now you play medic, carry him, that's doctrine. His eyes stayed level, no flinch. Doctrine gets him strafed, drones inbound, watch, he keyed wristvox. Cho, scrap and line now. Vela's crest flared, squad eyes bored into her, Vex's glare hardest. Liaison overrides you now, Riss. Joran hears this. Joran's vox cut in sharp. Riss report, broodleader pins command trench, human stays back. She ignored it. Claws tensed on rifle. Humans, reckless parasites always improvising chaos, but his traps had sealed the horde. Heat lingered from her fingers in his. Footfalls crunched. Warrant Officer Cho slid into the trench, pack slung heavy. Human female, compact, tools jangling. Kane, got carabiners, Dyneema scrap, tensioners, go. Kane nodded once. Grabbed Lurak's harness, checked bleed seal. Tension points here. He stripped ravine scrap, shattered beam, enemy cable coils. Fingers flew, knotting dual ropes across the gap. One anchor, boulder wedged firm. Other, twisted rebar spike. Cho ratcheted tension, her multi-tool whining soft. Vela covered the lip. Bolts whined past. Faster, they're closing. Done, Kane clipped Lurak secure. You haul him across, I cover, she snarled. My soldier, my pull. His hand steadied her claw on the line, calluses rough against scales. Together, trust the rig, drones buzzed. Enemy eyes lit the ravine rim, Carmaw spotters. Strafe fire rained, rock chips exploded. Vex dragged Lurak back. Riss, pull now or die. Vela gripped the haul line, muscles bunched. Kane shouldered his rifle, laid suppressive fire, 3-round bursts punching drones from sky. One crumpled, spiraling into the pack below. She heaved. Line sang taut. Lurak swung out over void, Ravina kill zone below. Bolts stitched the far wall, her arms burned. Squad fired wild, but her focus locked. Kane's calm pattern shredding threats. Cho flank drone, Kane called. Human engineer pivoted, lobbed EMP grenade. Drone swarm stuttered, two plummeted, halfway across. Lurak groaned. Vela's claws slipped slick with sweat. A bolt grazed the line, fray sparked. Heart slammed. Kane vaulted the edge. Grabbed secondary rope. Relay pull, he hauled with her, boots braced on lip. Human strength surged steady, unrelenting, line stabilized. They yanked Lurak to far side. Vex unclipped him, dragged clear. Vela panted, scales heaving. Squad stared, Lurak alive, leg intact. Drones reformed, broodleader's roar echoed closer. Vela slung back to cover. Kane cross, he shook head. You first, squad seals. No, her tail hooked his ankle, pull insistent. Liaison, grin flashed, faint, fierce. He clipped in. She covered his zip, rifle barking. Bolts hunted him mid-crossing. One nicked his vest. He hit far side, rolling up, firing. Cho slapped his shoulder. Clean rig. Vela leaped last, line whipping. Fire chased her shadow. Safe. Joran stormed up, crest rigid. Riss, you let the mammal rig evac. My command exposed because, Kane cut in, voice flat. Mines funneled them, sir. Standard infantry. Your depths hold now. Joran's eyes narrowed. Vela stepped forward, claws flexed. He saved Lurak. Doctrine failed. Human won. Squad murmured. Vex grunted, reluctant. Mammal pulled true. Broodleader's elites hit the ravine mouth. Vela raised rifle. Kane matched her, side by side again. Shells arced, trench shook. Joran barked orders, but his glance lingered on Kane, doubt cracking. Vela bumped Kane's arm, scales to vest. Heat sparked. Your math again? Always. His hand brushed her tail base. Light, electric, drones swarmed anew, but now the ravine fired back her squad, synced to human rhythm. Bolts flew precise. Lurak rose on crutches. Riss, let him lead traps next. She nodded. Prejudice burned away. Competence forged steel. Carmaw pressed. Vox screamed from command. Broodleader breaches. Elites at your flank. Vela's eyes locked Kane's. His calm deepened. But the funnel, his design, led them here. Trap or bait, he shouldered forward. Rig the pinch together. Her claws laced his belt. Prove it. Enemy claws scraped close. Fire erupted. Plasma scorched air. Vela dove into the sub-trench, Kane rolling beside her. Carmaw berserkers vaulted the lip, 6 elites, claws venom dripping, eyes mad with broodleader's frenzy. Her squad fired from cover, but the beasts shrugged bolts, regenerating flesh bubbling. Vex's burst staggered one. It lunged anyway. Riss! She fired point-blank, mandibles shattering. Kane's rifle chattered, headshots, 2 down clean. Humans, fragile frames, but aim surgical. Cho appeared, breaching charges primed. Flank clear, Kane nodded. She slapped charges on ravine wall. Blow in 10, Joran's vox roared. Riss, abandon lane, fall back. No, Vela keyed open. Human rigs, kill zone, hold. Silence then, prove it, or court-martial both. Kane stripped more scrap. Zip anchors hold, reverse them. Fingers knotted fast, trip lines now laced with Cho's frags. Squad fire pins them, we collapse roof. Vela relayed, squad shifted seamless. Lurak manned a heavy repeater, leg braced. For the mammal, elites charged. Drones strafed again. Vela covered Kane's knotwork, bolts inches from his hands. One grazed scales on her arm, sting hot. She growled, fired through pain. Set! Kane rose, rifle ready. Pull on my mark. Broodleader's shadow loomed at ravine end, massive, scarred, siege hammer raised. Vox hissed his challenge, death to softskins. Kane's eyes met hers. Mark! Squad unleashed, repeater chewed elites. Vela and Kane picked stragglers, Cho yanked trip lines, frags chain detonated. Roof caved, tons of rubble burying the pack. Broodleader vanished in dust. Silence fell, cheers erupted, squads first for a human. Joran arrived, dust-caked, stared at the slide. How? Infantry math? Kane wiped hands, humble shrug, Vela gripped his shoulder, claws firm. My math now? Joran's crest lowered fraction. Liaison, integrates for now. Heat coiled in her core, tail curled round his calf, unseen, wanted, squad dispersed, slapping Kane's back. Vex grinned fangs. Claws indeed, mammal, night deepened. Watch paired again. Shells distant. Vela leaned into him, scales to warmth. Thought prejudice eternal. His thumb traced her claw. Actions rewrite. Lips brushed scale, soft, bold, she turned, mandibles parting. Kiss fierce, cross-species fire, tongues met, alien textures sparking. Vox crackled low. Cho, Kane, broodleader dug out, fresh assault, Vox crackled. Kane, broodleader dug out, fresh assault inbound, rally to ridge now. Vela snapped upright. Kiss forgot. Rifle in claws, night air thickened with rotor hum. Karmaw drones, dozens. They swarmed the ridgeline like hornets from a kicked nest. Kane rolled to his feet, slung pack tight. Your squad's pinned, we flank left, link up. She nodded, crest flared, scaled his back with a glance, warmth lingered on her mandibles. Move, they sprinted downslope. Boots crunched gravel under her pads. His stride matched hers, silent despite mass. Drones buzzed closer. Red strobes pierced dark. Plasma bolts scorched earth ahead. Vela dove behind a boulder. Kane slid beside her. Ambush grid, broodleaders baiting us. Vox screamed. Joran's voice. Riss, elites vectoring your position. Extract. Too late. Claws scraped rock. Karmaw elites crested the ridge. 10 armored in chitin plate. Siege hammers hummed, blades glowing plasma hot. Broodleader loomed center, scarred bulk twice her height. His roar shook stones. Soft skins, your mammal dies first. Vela fired. Bolt punched an elite's visor. It crumpled. Kane's rifle barked 2 headshots clean. Drones dove. She rolled, lashed tail to shove him clear. Shrapnel peppered her flank. They're hurting us, Kane yelled. He slapped a grenade to her belt. South ravine tight beam to Cho. Elites charged. Hammers swung. Vela parried, 1 sparks flew, arm numb. She countered, claws raking throat vents. Green ichor sprayed. Kane flanked, rifle butt cracking knee joints. Enemy fell. But more poured in. Drones pinned the squad's Vox. Joran's line cut. Vela and Kane backed into the ravine, alone. Units cut off, her breath hissed. Prejudice flickered, human bait. No, his eyes locked hers, steady. We fight through. Kane scanned shadows. Too many. They'll grind us. Broodleader bellowed. Surrender, Scalekin, or watch him pulp. Elites encircled, hammers raised, drones hovered, stunners charged, Vela raised rifle. Never. She aimed for the Broodleader's core. Kane grabbed her arm, pulled low. Wait, surrender. Strategic, her crest spiked. Insane mammal, they flay liaisons. Trust me. His voice cut steel, hand firm on her rifle. Drop it. Claws trembled, elites closed, she hissed, threw rifle down, Kane followed, hands up. Broodleader laughed, hammer tapped Kane's chest. Mammal puzzles, into the pen. Elites bound them. Chitin cuffs bit scales, dragged through enemy lines. Vela snarled, tested bonds solid. Kane walked calm, eyes flicked perimeters, counting guards. They marched into a Karmaw forward camp, tents pulsed with biolum veins. Sensor nets hummed overhead. Holding pen loomed, force cage, 20 captives inside. Allied prisoners, scales dull, shoved inside. Field dropped, locked, Vela paced, claws scraped energy bars. Your strategy fails, they dissect us at dawn. Kane knelt, inspected lock panel. Not yet. Pulled a micro tool from boot sole, human trick field fix. Wires snipped quiet, she crouched beside, watched. You breached that? Engineer Mod chose gift. Sparks flew, panel hissed open, alarm silent, her tail flicked, impressed. How? Infantry math? He grinned faint. Stole a chit from the panel, comm codes etched, pocketed it. Enemy Vox net, we ghost their assault plans. Guards patrolled outside. One paused, sniffed. Vela tensed. Kane tapped her claw, motioned up vent grate overhead. She boosted him. He pried it loose, pulled her through, tight squeeze, her scales scraped. His warmth pressed close, crawled ductwork, heat choked. Vent dumped into comm tent, empty operator stepped out. Kane dropped silent, knifed console, chit slotted, data streamed to his wrist pad. Assault vectors targeting Joran's CP at dawn. Vela guarded door, rifle snatched from rack, hers cleaned. Broodleaders there? Commanding, he yanked chit. We exfil warn squad. Alarms wailed outside, guards rushed tent, she fired, dropped two, Kane covered. Pen breach, free the prisoners. They burst out. Vela slashed cuffs on allies, chaos erupted, captives grabbed weapons, fought back, Kane tossed smoke. Ravine, go! They ran, drones pursued. Vela laid suppression fire, Kane hacked a sensor node, net flickered down. Escape window, halfway up ridge, broodleader blocked. Hammer swung, she dodged. Claws locked his arm, pinned, Kane flanked. Grenade defeat blast hurled the giant back. Run, they crested, squad linked. Joran stared. Riss, the mammal. Vela gripped Kane's arm, claws gentle. Hours now. Vox lit. Cho, codes match, assault scrubbed. Broodleader roared distant. Assault broke, dawn broke, camp secured. Joran approached, crest low. Liaison, saved my command. Kane shrugged. Teamwork. Vela pulled him aside, tent flap closed. Pressed scales to his chest. You rewrote me under fire. His hand traced her crest, thumb on mandible. Actions due. Lips met, fiercer, tongues tangled, textures sparked hotter, tail coiled his leg, pulled close, heat built, claws shredded his vest, skin to scales. Gasps mingled, she pushed him down, straddled. Prove more. He gripped hips, thrust up, rhythm built, cross-species fire consumed, pleasure crested, shared roar muffled, after she curled round him. Prejudice gone, his fingers laced claws, trust earned. Shells fell distant. War raged, but here bond sealed. Vox crackled, Joran, Riss, Kane, broodleader rallies, remnants, siege push inbound. She rose, rifle ready, Kane matched, shoulder to shoulder. Let's end him. Ambush sirens wailed anew, drones darkened sky. Elites swarmed from fog-shrouded gullies, Karmaw's desperate counterstrike. Vela's squad fired from entrenched lines, but the enemy punched through flanks, bolts scorched barricades. They're splitting us, Vex yelled. Her second clutched a bleeding arm. Vela scanned. No sign of Joran's company. Hold ridge, Kane, plasma seared past. She shoved him down, they tumbled into a shell crater. Dirt rained, squad's fire slackened, cut off. Kane wiped mud. Broodleaders hunting command us. Elites closed, hammers gleamed, drones pinned overhead. Vela rose to fire. Kane yanked her back. Surrender, get inside. Madness, claws dug earth, but his eyes calm certainty. She dropped rifle, hands up. Elites bound them rough, marched to perimeter. Sensor net hummed, Vela's earlier scout had mapped it, but now it trapped. Pen stank of despair. Force walls hummed, Kane knelt at panel, tool out. Watch, she guarded, heart raced, not fear, trust, sparks, lock popped, chit stolen. Codes ours, vent crawl, comm tent, data dump, broodleaders siege plans, guards stormed, fight out, prisoners freed. Chaos favored escape. Ridge linked, victory, but now fresh sirens. Broodleader's shadow loomed larger, Kane checked mags. Ready, her tail brushed his. With you. They charged into the swarm, drones strafed. Vela rolled, fired, two down. Kane's grenades chained, cratering elites. Broodleader smashed through smoke. Hammer arced for Kane. Vela leaped, claws locked haft, held. Mine, Kane flanked, rifle to vents burst core, giant shuddered, fell, squad cheered, Joran arrived. Impossible, Kane humble. Math. Vela claimed his lips. Public. Vela's claws scraped tunnel walls as she sprinted beside Kane. Alarms wailed behind them. Broodleader's data chit burned in her pouch, siege plans detailing a breach under Sector 7. Faster, Sect must hear this now. Kane matched her stride, rifle slung tight. His breather hissed steady, no wasted breath. Tunnels twisted, lit by flickering emergency strips. Distant booms shook dust from ceiling. They burst into the command bunker. Guards snapped to attention. Captain Joran Sect whirled from the holomap. His crest flared red. Riss, with the human parasite, explain. Vela slammed the chit onto the table. Broodleaders breach vector, tunnels under 7, elites massing, drones to pin. We hit them now or lose the line. Sec's eyes narrowed on Kane. You bring tainted intel from a soft-skin liaison? He jabbed a claw at her. Human compromise, she's turned soldiers, arrest squad leader Riss. Guards advanced, stun batons humming. Vela's tail lashed. Traitor, I've bled for this company. Data's verified. Silence, Sect barked. Lock her, interrogate later, delay buys nothing. Kane stepped between her and the guards, calm, unyielding. Captain, read the chit first. Math doesn't lie. A guard lunged. Baton cracked into Kane's chest. Blue arcs spiderwebbed his armor. He convulsed, dropped to knees. Smoke curled from the hit plate, but he rose, slow, eyes locked on Sect. Breach in 12 minutes, your call. Vela's blood roared. Her captain, her mentor, called her traitor. Guards hesitated, batons raised. Kane shielded her still, breath ragged. Rage ignited. She ripped her ritual blade free. Crest flared battle blue. Duel captain for command now, Sect sneered. Drew his own blade, serrated and etched with kills. Foolish, proving your weakness. Guards circled back. Bunker tensed, they clashed. Vela lunged low, blade whistling. Sect parried, countered high. Sparks flew on crossed steel. Her tail whipped his leg, he staggered. She pressed, slashes precise from years on the front. You consort with parasites, Sect roared. Thrust aimed for her throat, she twisted, raked his arm guard. I fight for victory, riposte grazed his crest. Blood welled, Sect bellowed, spun into a overhead smash. Vela rolled under, kicked his knee. He dropped to one. Blade pinned his throat. Yield, mobilize. Guards froze, Sect glared, chest heaving. Defend the breach, all units to Sector 7. He spat blood, but the human dies after. Vela sheathed her blade, hauled Kane up. He lives, moves with me. Alarms peaked, she keyed comms. Squads, Tunnel 7, elites incoming. Seal vents, rig charges. They poured from the bunker. Kane leaned on her but gripped rifle firm. Lion, need demo fast. His comm crackled. Warrant officer Cho's voice. On it, Sergeant. Field fab printing breaching charges. 2 mics. Tunnels swarmed with troops now. Vela's squad fell in, eyes wary on Kane, but they moved. Prejudice lingered, but action spoke. She shoved through to the forward line. Sensor pings lit her visor, Karmaw broodleaders elites clawing up from below. Hammers ready, drones scouting ahead. Charges here. Cho slid in from a side passage, human engineer hauling a crate. No salute, just gear. He slapped packs onto Vela's troops. Remote det linked to Kane's pad. Wires sparked as he jury-rigged a tunnel jammer from scrap. Vela nodded sharp. Competence. Human-style fast, dirty fixes. Squad fan out, Kane with me to overlook. They crested the ridge. Broodleader's forces boiled from the breach mouth. Claws tore ferrocrete. Drones buzzed, lasers stitching air. Kane tapped his pad. Dead in 3. Calm voice cut chaos. Elites surged. Vela fired, plasma lance, dropped 2. Her squad poured fire, tails lashing sink, but drones pinned them. Hammers swung close. Explosion rocked the tunnel. Charges chained, collapsing the mouth in fire and stone. Elites howled, crushed. Drones plummeted. Broodleader emerged from smoke. Towering, hammer glowing plasma hot, eyes locked on Vela. Riss, your head! She charged. Blade met hammer, shock jarred her arms. Kane flanked, rifle barking. Vents on the giant's armor vented steam. Cho's jammer worked. Broodleader swung wild. Vela ducked, slashed thigh joints. Green ichor sprayed. Kane's burst hit vents again. Core overheated, cracked. The beast roared. Hammer arced for Kane. Vela leaped onto its back. Claws dug plates. Blade plunged into neck seal. Not him, Broodleader thrashed, fell. Kane fired point blank. Core burst. Silence. Squad stared, whispers. She took the giant with the soft skin. Joran stalked up, arm bandaged. Fluke. But his crest stayed low. Kane wiped ichor. Teamwork. Handed Cho a tool. Good fab. Vela's tail brushed Kane's leg. Heat rose, not battle fire. Trust sealed in blood and blasts. She pulled him close. Lips met his. Squad gaped. No protests. Sirens wailed anew. Deeper breach. Broodleader's kin rallied. Kane checked mags. Next vector. Her claws gripped his armor. Together. They sprinted into dark. Squad followed. Plasma scorched walls as Vela and Kane dove into the subtunnel. Fresh data from the chit pinged her visor. Secondary breach. Karmaw's reserves punching through maintenance shafts. Her squad trailed, breaths harsh. Joran's glare burned her back. He mobilized, but doubt festered. Split here, Kane said, voice steady despite the stun scar on his chest plate. You take left flank, I'll rig the junction with Lion. Vela hesitated. Prejudice whispered, humans break, but he took the hit. Proved steel. Link comms, no heroics. His nod, quick squeeze of her claw, gone, she led her squad left. Claws clicked on grates, distant hammers thudded. Eyes sharp, elites hunt packs. First contact, drone swarm, lasers slashed. Vela rolled, plasma rifle barking. 2 down. Squad sync tail signals flashed fire discipline. Alien precision held the line. Comms crackled. Kane, charges set, drones incoming your way. She pivoted, buzz-filled tunnel. Grenades, explosions lit dark. Wreckage rained, but elites poured behind, hammers high. Vela met the lead, blade locked hammer, muscles strained, squad flanked but claws raked one trooper down. Kane, on it! Boom, his grenades chained from the junction, tunnel shook, elites staggered, she beheaded the lead, pushed forward, competence flowed. Human puzzle solving meshed her blade work, junction ahead, Kane and Cho worked feverish. Cho welded a field cannon from drone parts. Overload shot, one use. Elites crested, Broodleader's lieutenant, smaller but vicious, hammer spun, Vela charged, Kane covered, rifle precise. Cho fired the cannon, beam vaporized 3 elites. Lieutenant roared at Kane. Vela intercepted. Claws raked its face. Blade plunged. It fell. Squad cheered. Joran's voice on comms. Riss, report. Vector sealed. Human assists held. Pause. Understood. Kane grinned faint. Math again. Her tail curled his waist. Pull drew him in. Kiss fierce. Squad averted eyes but stood taller. Alarms spiked. Main force breached ridge above. Karmaw himself led. Surface, Vela ordered. End this. They climbed, Kane first, hauling her up. Trust absolute. Ridge exploded in fire. Karmaw's horde hit Allied lines. Hammers crushed barricades, drones owned skies. Vela's squad dug in. Plasma flew, she dropped 2 elites. Kane beside her, grenades arcing perfect. Joran rallied his company finally. Push! But Karmaw zeroed. Claws ripped the ridge apart. Stones screamed as Karmaw's elites poured through the jagged breach, hammers swinging. Vela's squad slammed into cover, plasma bolts lancing out. 1 elite crumpled, but 10 more surged behind it. Fired him to the breach, Vela barked. Her tail lashed. Troops hesitated, mixed species, humans among them. Joran's voice crackled on comms. Riss, hold that hole, no retreats. She locked eyes with Kane. Dust smeared his faceplate, rifle steady. No fear, just focus. Her prejudice twisted, humans as parasites, reckless fodder, but he'd saved her squad twice in the tunnels. Competence burned that lie away. Kane, she thrust her blade toward the breach. You lead the fire team, overlapping fields, rotate before they drop. His nod came instant. Copy Cho with me, squad on me, left flank high, right low, interlock at the choke. Troops stared. A Risvor female leading under a human, whispers hissed, but Kane moved first. He dropped to a knee, rifle barking precise bursts. 2 elites jerked and fell. Left flank elevate 5 degrees, pin the runners. His voice cut calm through the roar. Vela's warriors shifted without question. Plasma and slugs wove a deadly net. Elites bunched, shredded. Vela anchored the center. Her blade cleaved a charging hammer wielder's arm. Hot ichor sprayed her armor. She kicked the corpse aside, eyes on Kane. He gestured sharp, rotating her fatigue-frayed troops back. Fresh humans slotted in seamless. Right flank, shift 2 meters left, cover the gap. No yelling, just math, overlaps tightened. The breach narrowed to a kill zone. Karmaw's roar echoed from the smoke. Heavy walkers thudded forward, 6-legged behemoths, shields glowing, cannons spitting void fire. They pinned her flanks. Plasma bolts splashed harmless. Walkers crushed barricades, elites swarming in their wake. They're through, a trooper yelled, panic rippled. Vela charged the melee line, her squad rallied around her, blades flashing, claws rending. She parried a hammer blow, counterthrust gutting the elite. Another lunged, her tail whipped its leg, blade followed through its throat. Kane vanished into the smoke. Cho charges on the lead walker, junction struts. Working it, Cho's voice grunted. The human engineer crouched amid wreckage, welding scavenged drone cells to Kane's demo pack. Sparks flew. Overload in 10, get clear. Walkers advanced. 1 swiveled, cannon locking Vela's position. She rolled, void fire gouging rock. Her squad faltered, pinned, loyalty fracturing. Captain Riss favors the soft skin. An elite snarled beside her, hammer raised against a human private. She beheaded him mid-sentence. Fight or die questioning. Kane sprinted low. Walker legs stomped inches from his boots. He slapped charges on the lead beast's knee joint, precise, no waste. Charges hot, pull back. Vela grabbed a faltering trooper, hauled him behind cover. The squad fell back on her order, blades guarding Kane's path. Walker servos whined. Cannon tracked him. Boom. Charges erupted. The lead walker's leg buckled, metal shrieking. It toppled, crushing 3 elites beneath. Cannon fired wild, slamming Allied lines. Cheers erupted from her squad. Humans slapped backs with Risvor. Kane emerged, rifle up, dropping a straggler. His eyes met hers across the smoke. Grin faint under the grime, Joran's comms barked. Riss, explain the human command, your prejudice? Proven wrong, sir. Vela cut him. He held the breach, walkers down, we're pushing. Pause, then, vector report incoming, hold. Karma bellowed rage from the ridge top. More walkers rumbled, flanked by drones. Elites reformed ranks. Vela's squad dug claws into stone, plasma charging. Kane slid beside her. His shoulder brushed hers, solid, unyielding. Her tail curled his leg, instinctive. Trust sealed in fire, he didn't flinch. Next wave angles left, I'll vector grenades, you anchor melee? She nodded, blade humming. Their rhythm meshed perfect, her fury, his precision. Romance sparked unbidden heat amid the kill zone. Drones screamed overhead, void fire rained. Vela slashed one from the sky, wreckage exploding. Kane's grenades arced flawless, blooming fire that scattered elites. Cho yelled from cover. Field cannon reloaded drone parts again, one shot targeting second walker. Fire on my mark. Kane coordinated. Fire team overlapped seamless, Risvor plasma melting shields, human slugs piercing joints. Walkers lumbered closer. Karma's shadow loomed atop the third, hammer raised like judgment. His eyes, glowing slits, locked on Vela. He hunted command. Squad wedge formation. She surged forward. Kane matched her stride. Troops followed, no questions now. Joran's voice returned, edged. Riss, fall back, reinforcements pinned, that's an order. Her jaw set. Negative. We're ending this. Kane's hand grazed her arm, silent support. Her warriors growled approval. Cho's cannon wind charge, beam lanced. Second walker vaporized mid-stride, elites incinerated in the blast wave. Karma leaped down. Ground shook. His hammer spun death arcs, crushing two troopers. Vela met him blade to hammer. Muscles locked, sparks flew. Kane, flank, she grunted. On it. Grenades chained his feet. Broodleader staggered. Vela twisted, blade scoring his armor. He roared, claws raking her pauldron. Pain flared. Kane's rifle cracked, rounds punching joints. Cho patched her armor mid-fight, welder sizzling. Squad closed the circle. Hammers fell, elites dropped. Karma swung wild. Vela ducked, tail tripping him. Kane planted final charge. Down, explosion ripped his leg off. Broodleader thrashed, ichor flooding. Vela's blade plunged through his helm. Silence fell. Panting, she straightened. Squad stared, humans and aliens shoulder to shoulder. Joran arrived with reinforcements, eyes wide at the wreckage. Report, his voice lacked edge. Human tactics held. Vela sheathed her blade. Kane wiped blood from his brow, offering no boasts. Cho packed tools. Joran eyed Kane. Liaison, you coordinated my company. Kane shrugged. Just infantry math, sir. Your blades did the rest. The captain grunted. Prejudice cracked in his stare. Vela's tail tightened on Kane's waist. Pull close. His hand settled her hip, claim quiet, fierce. Alarms wailed anew. Distant booms shook the ridge. Karma's reserves massed below. Regroup, Vela ordered. Squad moved as one, trust forged, war far from over. Vela vaulted the trench lip, blade humming in her grip. Shattered ferrocrete crumbled under her boots. Karma reserves swarmed the ridge below, but intel pinned their new broodleader here in the gutted command trench. Her squad flanked her, 4 Riss warriors, Kane at her shoulder, Cho hauling demo packs. Tracks fresh, Kane said. He scanned claw gouges in the wall, rifle low, no panic in his voice, just facts. Vela's tail lashed. Humans smelled weakness like blood. This one. He moved like he owned the dark. She hated admitting it. Flank right, Cho, charges ready. They plunged deeper. Alarms shrieked overhead. Distant claws scraped. The trench twisted, choked with wrecked habs and twitching corpses. Vela's pauldron scraped a beam. Sparks lit Kane's face, calm eyes, blood streaked from the last push. A roar echoed, broodleader. Contact! Vela hissed. She burst around the bend. The beast loomed, 8 feet of chitin armor, hammer raised, elites at its flanks. Claws flexed. It locked on her. Vela charged. Blade met hammer. Shock jarred her arms. The broodleader laughed, wet and grinding. Riss whelp, your humans flee. Her squad piled in. Blades flashed. Elites dropped one warrior, gore sprayed. Vela twisted, scoring the broodleader's thigh plate. It swung wild. She dodged. Kane's rifle barked, rounds cracked joints, slowing an elite. Cho, breach! Vela yelled. Grenades chained the trench floor. Elites staggered. The broodleader lunged, hammer arcing for Vela's head. She parried. Metal screamed. Kane shoved her aside. Down. The hammer blade extension whipped low. It caught him instead, sliced clean through his left shoulder pauldron and deep into flesh. Blood exploded. His arm dangled, severed at the joint. Vela's gut twisted. No, Kane didn't scream. He dropped his rifle one-handed, yanked a frag from his vest, and lobbed it underhand. Perfect arc. Blast shredded an elite's legs. Broodleader roared. Claws raked Kane's chest plate. He rolled, came up firing pistol with his good arm. Rounds punched the beast's visor. Cracks spiderwebbed. Vela surged. You die now. Her blade plunged. Mist glanced off armor. Kane was there. One-armed, he grabbed a fallen elite's shock maul, swung it into the broodleader's knee joint. Chitin buckled. The beast howled, hammer flailing. Vela struck true. Tail whipped the broodleader's ankle. He toppled. Kane pinned the hammer arm with his boot. Now! Her blade drove through the helm slit. Ichor gushed. The broodleader spasmed, claws scrabbling. Vela twisted. Neck vertebrae snapped. Silence crashed down. She yanked free, panting. Squad stared. Her warrior Lura clutched a gut wound. Two elites twitched, unfinished. Kane slumped against the wall. Blood pooled from his stump. He clamped it with his good hand, face gray. Still scanned the trench. Clear. Vela knelt. Medkit. Her voice cracked. Humans broke easy. Reckless parasites until now. Cho slid in, welder hissing. Pressure on, tourniquet incoming. He worked fast, human fast, packed the wound with foam seal, rigged a sling from trench webbing. Joran's voice barked from comms. Riss. Status, Vela keyed her mic. Reinforcements' boots thundered closer. Her squad gathered, eyes on Kane. Whispers, she fights with the softskin. Loyalty, Joran crested the trench, eyes narrowing at the carnage. Broodleader's corpse steamed, Kane's arm, gone. Report, Commander. Vela stood, tail coiled protective around Kane's waist, instinct. His good hand gripped her thigh plate, steady. Broodleader dead, Kane took the kill strike possible. Joran's gaze flicked to the human. Liaison, one-armed you. Infantry math, sir. Kane cut in, no whine. Vela's blades closed it. Captain's mandibles clicked, doubt lingered, squad shifted, Lura spat blood. He bleeds out, prioritize wrist blood. Vela's blade hummed, half-drawn. No, she faced her unit, chest tight. Code demanded wrist first, always prejudice her shield, but Kane proved she met Joran's stare. Staff Sergeant Marcus Kane saved my life, fought on, he is wrist now, treat him first. Gasps rippled, Joran stiffened. You break code, Vela sheathed her blade. Step to Kane, tail locked firm warrior claim. His hand rose, cupped her jaw plate, heat flushed her scales. Undercoat of blades and fire, she declared, voice carrying. I name Kane my bonded partner, he fights as one. Anti-human ban ends now, squad froze. Joran's eyes widened, then he nodded slow. Bond accepted medics, Cho grinned, injecting stims into Kane. Told ya, Sarge, aliens warm up nice. Kane's eyes met Vela's, pain glazed but fierce, worth it. Medics swarmed, they hauled him to the evac skid first. Vela climbed aboard, tail never loosening. Reserves massed below, booms shook the ridge. Joran rallied the company. Push, he roared. Vela gripped Kane's hand, trust burned new. War raged on, but her bonded lived. Ridge guns thundered. Karmaw counterattacked, claws breaching the wire. Vela leaped from the skid, blade out. Kane yelled from the medbay, already rigging a pistol one-handed. She fought back-to-back with her squad. No questions now. Human ingenuity flooded the net. Cho's drone spotting flanks, Kane's voice directing fire. An elite charged her. Vela slashed, it fell. Lura covered her blind side. For the bonded! Joran hammered a hammer wielder, glanced her way. Respect gleamed. Vela grinned, fierce. Prejudice shattered. Competence forged steel. Explosions walked the line. Reserves broke. Allies held. Evac lifted. Kane stabilized, arm cauterized. His eyes locked hers across the bay. Next trench, he murmured. Vela's tail squeezed. Together. Boots hit new dirt hours later. Orbital scans pinged, Karmaw siege engines rolling. Joran briefed, they hunt command, us. Vela nodded, Kane at her side, sling fresh, Cho's field prosthetic jury-rigged on the stump, human grit. Puzzle time, he said, squad moved seamless. Wrist blades, human fire. Trust absolute, a shadow loomed in the fog, scout claws, Vela signaled. Kane flanked silent, rifle cracked, two down, she pulled him close. Lips brushed his jaw, first touch beyond battle. Mine, his grin flashed. Yours, War whispered promises, they answered with steel. Trench fighting dragged into night. Vela led the probe. Kane's one arm didn't slow him, pistol and knife now. Cho wired demo rigs to alien power cells. Bigger booms, Joran watched from reserve line. The human, bonds well. Vela's chest swelled, proved under fire. Enemy probes tested. Hammers clashed. Kane saved Lura next, yanked her from a cave-in, frag tossing the burrower. Squad cheered. Kane, Riss, prejudice dust. Dawn broke bloody. Siege engines crested. Vela's company dug in. Kane plotted fire lanes. Your heavy's here. My mortar's there. Joran grunted approval. Fired first volley. Shells rained. Engines crumpled. Victory tasted sweet. Vela claimed Kane publicly again at mess fire, tail entwined. Kiss sealed under stars. Unit toasted. To bonds, war ground on, but her world shifted. Human heart beat strongest. Alarms wailed anew. Fresh reserves, brewed echoes, Vela rose, Kane matched her. One arm, all will, they charged together, unbreakable.